Hello everybody, welcome to the UCP World News. I'm Ajabi and I'm very nice to be with you here to present the journal. We're gonna have several segments. The first about World National News presented by Axel C.
Thank you, Ajabi. Sorry I couldn't be here on time. Unfortunately, my plane has been cancelled at the last minute. So, live from Germany, where I was reporting on John D. Manjik's trial in Munich, he was brought by ambulance to the court, accused of being an accessory to the murder of nearly 28,000 Jews at the Sobibor Nazi death camp in 1943. This is the last chapter of 30 years of efforts to prosecute the Manjuk. He was deported from the United States to Germany and has been in custody since then. He could face up to 15 years in prison if convicted for his alleged activities as a guard at Sobibor in occupied Poland during World War II. He was deemed fit for trial despite his family saying he is terminally ill. Owing to his fragile health, his trial at the Munich State Court has been limited to 2 90-minute sessions per day. The former Soviet Red Army soldier is accused of volunteering to serve as a guard under the SS after being taken prisoner by the Nazis in 1942. According to the indictment, he served as a simple guard of watchman. As such, he is the lowest ranking person to go on trial for Nazi war crimes. Okay, now we're going to Afghanistan, where cheating is prospering. Last Afghan election officials announced a sweeping victory for Hamid Karzai, who claimed 55% of the votes. This is nearly twice of his closest competitor. But accusations of election theft are spreading quickly. Many reports have come in from independent poll watchers showing that Karzai benefited from ballot stuffing and voter intimidation, among other things. The Electoral Complaints Commission, sponsored by the United Nations, called for a partial recount after citing clear and convincing evidence of fraud, and has already discarded 200,000 votes. The irony is that Afghanistan's president didn't need to cheat. He would have won legitimately. He may be unpopular, his rivals are even more. In pre-election polls, he was well ahead of his competitors, unifying alternatives in a country split between ethnic and religion issues. His main rival, Abdullah, was too closely associated with the militia that fought in the early 1990s and that destroyed a great part of Kabul. Karzai's strong position is even more solid by the fact that he had the most TV time and the highest name recognition among Afghan voters. Karzai's allies may have organized the tricks without his knowledge, but this casts doubt on Karzai's ability to lead the country against the Taliban. If they can provide a legitimate election to the Afghan people, let's hope that they won't keep failing to provide what ordinary citizens want most: security, good government, justice, and economic development. Now, a few words on Latin America. Colombia and Venezuela appear to be on a collision course. Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez recently ordered troops to the Colombian border where police, narco-guerrillas and army troops have fled. Chavez's popularity is rapidly decreasing. The problem is Venezuela's growing domestic crisis, led by disinvestment and mismanagement. A drought has led to severe water shortages and blackouts. Prices are rising 29% a year, the highest in the region. Such dysfunction is eroding Venezuela's economy and patience. In October, polling firm Data-Analysis found that Chavez's approval ratings had dropped below 50% for the first time. It was also found that 80% of the population opposed going to war with Colombia. Now, about Japan, the second largest economy on the globe, which is not deemed, I quote, living up to its potential to help, by the Center of Global Departments reports. While Japan's foreign aid budget is large, it dedicates only 0.80% of its gross national income to foreign aid. To compare with Sweden, the first on CJD's list, with 0.90%. The reports also cite Tokyo's steep tariffs on rice imports to protect its farmers, its strict policy on refugees, and its small contributions to global peacekeeping efforts, just to name a few. Foreign Minister Katsuya Okada has said he will review and increase Tokyo's official development assistance and loosen up requirements to deploy peacekeeping personnel. Now let's go back home, and I hope it will be soon, to see what happened in France recently. To begin with another extradition case, French President Nicolas Sarkozy may have played a part in Roman Polanski's release on bail. Roman Polanski's sister-in-law Mathilde Seigner is thanking French President Nicolas Sarkozy for the release of her brother-in-law from a Swiss jail, according to the New York Daily News. Seigner to the press, referring to the French leader, I quote, "The president has been very effective." According to the London Times, Sarkozy's wife, Carla Bruni, may have put pressure on him to get involved in Polanski's case because she had been friends with many in Paris' artistic community, including the renowned director and his wife, Emmanuelle Seigner. After denying Polanski's release on bail several times, Swiss authorities relented to and allowed the director to put up a bond of $4.5 million. He is now able to await a decision regarding his extradition to the US from his luxurious Alps chalet rather than a jail cell. He will be required to wear a bracelet that monitors his activity. However, the Daily News reports the device does not include a GPS unit to locate him should he attempt to escape. Polanski was arrested on September the 27th when he arrived at the Zurich Film Festival in Switzerland. He was convicted in 1978 for raping a 13-year-old girl in the Los Angeles home of the actor Jack Nicholson, and he pleaded guilty to the crime. Polanski fled the country prior to sentencing. US officials have formally asked Switzerland for the famed filmmaker's extradition to LA to be sentenced for statutory rape. If Swiss authorities agree to extradite Polanski, he will have the opportunity to appeal the decision before Switzerland's Federal Supreme Court. Polanski's French attorney has already stated his client will fight extradition to the US. ABC News reports that the US has informed Swiss authorities that the maximum prison term Polanski would receive upon his return would be only 2 years.